very good morning. It's just past 8 this Wednesday morning and we're back again with all the news on Breakfast News. I am Nancy Kohli and over the next 1 hour we'll get you all the news from across the nation, world sports and business updates. And the voting is over for 303 seats over 20 states and union territories, with the third, the largest phase of the Lok Sabha elections that has been concluded peacefully yesterday. We'll get you all the election-related news up ahead. And also international stories. Our focus continues to be on the series of attacks that took place in Sri Lanka. And investigations are on in full swing, even as the Islamic State has claimed responsibility for the deadly blast there. We'll get you all of those updates in the next 1 hour. Stay with us. Let's begin with the headlines. Over 66% polling recorded in the third phase of the Lok Sabha elections. Assam leads with 80%, while Bengal also records nearly 79% voting. Election campaign in top gear for the remaining 4 phases of the Lok Sabha elections. Prime Minister Modi to address election rallies in Jharkhand and West Bengal today. Congress President Rahul Gandhi and the Congress's General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi Vadra to campaign in Uttar Pradesh. Bharati Janata Party fields actor Sunny Deol from Gurdaspur re-nominates sitting MP Kiran Kher from Chandigarh. The action star had joined the Bharati Janata Party hours earlier yesterday. And the latest in Sri Lanka, President Maithripala Sirisena accepts the failure of the administration in preventing the worst terror attack that has claimed around 320 lives despite the intelligence inputs from India. Decides to sack the defense chiefs. The ICS has claimed responsibility for the attacks. In sports news, Indian boxers and wrestlers shine in the Asian Championship. Shiva Thapa becomes the first Indian boxer to assure 4th straight Asian Championship medal, while veteran Sarita Devi too enters the semi-finals. In wrestling, Bajrang Punia wins gold in 65 kg category. Our top story, with 117 Lok Sabha constituencies voting on Tuesday, the polling has concluded on over half of the 543 Lok Sabha seats with the conclusion of the third phase of the Lok Sabha elections. Around 66% voter turnout was recorded in the third phase of polling. 3 states, Gujarat, Kerala and Goa, saw polling for all the Lok Sabha seats, and on some seats in 12 more states and union territories. Here's a report.
Voter enthusiasm for the Festival of Democracy was palpable in all the 4 corners of the country. Voters, irrespective of age, gender and class, came out of their homes in large numbers to exercise their franchise. Long queues of voters were seen outside polling booths since the morning. Voting started in 117 parliamentary seats on Tuesday morning and ended at most places at 6 p.m, barring sensitive areas. Voting continued beyond the scheduled time to allow voters queued up in polling booths to cast their votes.
The voters across 117 parliamentary constituency in 15 states and union territories exercised their constitutional mandate. These account for about 20% of the total seats of Lok Sabha. A total of 22 states and union territories have concluded their elections completely by the third phase, that is today. So polls were by and large peaceful.
The 117 Lok Sabha seats where polling concluded on Tuesday were spread across 13 states and 2 union territories. There were 18 crore and 85 lakh registered voters in this phase who sealed the fate of 1,640 candidates in EVM machines. In Gujarat, polling concluded for all the 26 Lok Sabha seats in Gujarat peacefully in the third phase.
When the weather and the temperature in Gujarat was surging to an extent of 43 degrees Celsius, but at that time also the morale or primarily the enthusiasm of the voters over here in Gujarat was also at the peak, despite the temperature touching 43 degrees centigrade. Well, there are close to 4.5 crore voters in Gujarat, and interestingly, 10 lakh voters were the first-time voters.
In Kerala too, polling was peaceful on all the 20 Lok Sabha seats, and voters voted in large numbers.
It was blistering heat when the campaign was going on and they listened patiently to all the candidates. It was raining when the polling day came, but that didn't deter them to come to polling station in hordes and be part of this festival of democracy so that there could be a voice in Lok Sabha that will raise their concerns in New Delhi.
14 seats each of Maharashtra and Karnataka also witnessed polling in the third phase. Long queues of voters were seen in the two states.
As early as 7 a.m. people lined up across different polling booths in Bellary city, Bellary rural as well. Here I have a set of people who have voted. These are the traditional Lambani community people who have voted here.
10 seats of UP saw peaceful polling at 20,116 polling booths in 12,128 polling stations. In the third phase, people braved the scorching summer heat in the state to cast their votes. Polling was smooth, barring a few instances of complaints of EVM malfunctioning in Rampur and Badaयूं. Polling took place for a few seats in West Bengal, Chhattisgarh, Assam and Odisha. Complaints emerged of malfunctioning of EVMs from some places in Assam, which led to the EVMs being replaced. Polling concluded on 6 Lok Sabha seats and 42 assembly seats in Odisha in the third phase.
As the polling for the third phase comes to an end, voting for all the 11 parliamentary constituencies in Chhattisgarh is done peacefully. It is difficult to say as of now that which party is going to gain maximum number of seats here, but the voters have emerged victorious. They have defied all the threats from the Naxals and have come out in large numbers to cast their votes.
Voting took place for the third phase of polling in Bihar in 5 Lok Sabha seats.
Voting for 2 parliamentary constituency of North and South Goa and 3 assembly by-polls saw a large number of people coming out to vote. Election Commission had made elaborate arrangements to ensure that people from all sections of society and ages can cast their votes smoothly and without hassle.
In Jammu and Kashmir, polling took place for the first phase of Anantnag Lok Sabha seat amid extensive security arrangements for free and fair polling. In the northeast, polling concluded in the Tripura East parliamentary seat. Besides, voting took place on 1 Lok Sabha seat each in Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu. High-profile candidates in the fray in the third phase were BJP President Amit Shah, Congress President Rahul Gandhi, SP Patriarch Mulayam Singh, Union Minister Santosh Gangwar, Anand Kumar Hegde and Ramesh Chandappa, NCP candidate Supriya Sule, Congress candidate Mallikarjun Kharge, SP candidate Azam Khan, BJP candidates Jaya Pratap and Varun Gandhi, Pragatisheel Samajwadi Party candidate Shivpal Singh Yadav. Voting has concluded in 302 Lok Sabha seats by the end of polling in the third phase on Tuesday. Anantnag will be voting in 2 more phases. With curtains coming down on the third phase, all eyes will be on whether there is similar voter enthusiasm in the subsequent phases of polling as well. With Bureau Inputs, DD News.
So people there coming out in large numbers to cast their vote and making their mark. And during the third phase of polling, high-profile voters also garnered as much attention as the key contest, while Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the BJP National President and party's Gandhinagar candidate Amit Shah were among the high-profile voters in Gujarat. Congress's Mallikarjun Kharge was both a high-profile candidate and a voter from Gulbarga in Karnataka. Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav voted in Saifai in Uttar Pradesh, even as NCP's Supriya Sule and Congress's Abhijit Mukherjee in the fray in the third phase too cast their votes.
In the third phase of polling, the big bouts and high-profile voters took center stage. Followers of Prime Minister Modi were keenly awaiting the moment when he would cast his vote. They lined the roads of Ahmedabad to greet him, and Prime Minister reciprocated in equal measure. Prime Minister then headed out to vote at a polling booth in Nishan Higher Secondary School in Ranip in Ahmedabad in an open jeep. After casting his vote, PM said he was fortunate to be part of the democratic exercise. BJP President Amit Shah also cast his vote in Narankanpura area of Ahmedabad, as did veteran BJP leader L.K. Advani and senior BJP leader Arun Jaitley. Another BJP heavyweight who voted in phase 3 was Dharmendra Pradhan, who queued up at a polling booth in Talcher in Odisha. Prakash Javadekar cast his vote in Pune, Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi in Rampur. Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani and his wife cast their votes in Rajkot. Flanked by his family members, Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel voted in Patan Assembly segment of Durg Lok Sabha seat. Odisha CM Naveen Patnaik exercised his franchise in Bhubaneswar in Odisha and Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan in Kannur in Kerala. In Uttar Pradesh, SP President Akhilesh Yadav voted with his family in Safai, and his estranged uncle and Pragatishil Samajwadi Party leader Shivpal Yadav exercised his franchise in Firozabad, from where he is also in the fray. In Bihar, Sharad Yadav and Pappu Yadav, who are challenging each other on Madhepura Lok Sabha seat, cast their ballots. NCP leader Supriya Sule cast her vote in Baramati, from where she has been fielded again by the NCP. Former Chief Minister of Karnataka and BJP Karnataka President B.S. Yediyurappa voted in Shimoga, from where his son is in the fray, even as the Congress's Mallikarjun Kharge voted in Gulbarga, from where he has been fielded again by the Congress. Meanwhile, those from the film fraternity were part of the dance of democracy too. Malayalam film actor Mohanlal cast his vote in Thiruvananthapuram and Mammootty in Kochi in Kerala. The Festival of Democracy thus saw vibrant participation of people from across all walks of life. With Bureau Inputs, DD India.
And from women voters to the elderly to the first-timers, the beauty of democracy reflected on the polling stations as people from all walks of life queued up to cast their votes. Here's how vibrant the election was across 15 states and union territories. Take a look.
Diverse colours of democracy were on display on Tuesday as 117 parliamentary seats went to polls. Voters from all age groups and from all sections of society turned up in large numbers and exercised their franchise. Age was no barrier as their enthusiasm and sense of responsibility led senior citizens to polling booths. Many of them have been voting for decades and never lagged behind when it came to playing their part in strengthening democracy.
कितना साल से वोट करे छ?
हम बहुत दिन से हमें देते छिए, जे दिन से वोट चले लगले ते दिन से देते छिए।
हर बार लेकिन वोट आप कर ही रही हैं यहाँ पे आके।
हाँ।
एक बार भी वोट नहीं छोड़ती है करना।
ना।
हर बार वोट करती है।
It was a milestone event for millennials as they thronged polling stations to translate into votes the excitement for exercising their franchise for the first time. First-time voters flashed their ID cards with a sense of pride as they cast their vote.
The management of all the government infrastructure and the betterment of the future for the children and the future generation.
बहुत अच्छा लगा, पहली टाइम तो एक्साइटेड भी थी, तो हो गया।
अच्छा लगा, इजी था प्रोसेस।
The Election Commission made special arrangements to ensure that differently able persons don't face any difficulty while casting their vote. This helped Divyang voters turning up in large numbers and exercise their franchise. In Goa, Divyang voters were also given badges reading Most Valued Voter. Voters lauded the efforts of the Election Commission.
Facilities are very good, which have been provided by the Chief Electoral Officer in Goa. We have ramps with handrails this time. There is also braille signages are there, and there is signages for the hearing impaired also. Okay, and there is braille on the EVMs also.
Women voters across states were seen queuing up since the very morning, waiting for their turn to cast their vote. They gave their male counterparts a run for their money when it comes to playing an active part in the democratic process, voting for a better future, an empowered tomorrow. The percentage of women voters was more than male voters in the previous rounds of polling.
हमारे देश का और हम महिलाओं का विकास करें। मैं प्रेग्नेंट हूँ, फिर भी आज सुबह अभी आई हूँ। मैं मानती हूँ कि सब लोगों को मतदान देना ही चाहिए। बहुत गर्मी है, लेकिन यहाँ फिर भी सब लोग इकट्ठा होकर सुबह से मतदान देने के लिए आ रहे हैं।
हमारे देश को सुरक्षित रखे, बस यही है।
What else could be more important on a wedding day for a bride other than marriage itself? Well, it is exercising one's franchise. A bride in Rajkot in Gujarat turned up at a polling station, casting her vote before heading for the mandap. In Pune too, a bride visited a polling station and exercised her franchise. Transgender voters also came out and exercised their franchise. Over 18 crore 85 lakh voters were eligible to exercise their franchise in the third phase of the Lok Sabha polls. With people from all walks of life queuing up to cast their votes, they once again reiterated their strong faith in democracy and their commitment to strengthen it further. Bureau Report, DD News.
And moving on now, the scrutiny of nomination for the sixth phase of the Lok Sabha elections will take place today. As many as 202 candidates filed their nomination papers for the sixth phase of the Lok Sabha elections. The elections are scheduled to be held in 4 parliamentary constituencies on the 12th of May. And the re-polling in 12 booths of Inner Manipur parliamentary constituency and 5 polling stations of Karimganj SC and autonomous district ST constituencies of Assam is also taking place today. The polling on the 12 booths was initiated after several cases of impersonation, proxy voting and malpractices were reported during the second phase of elections on the 18th of April. And the electioneering is gaining momentum for the remaining phases, with the top leaders of various political parties addressing rallies across the country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address a public rally at Lohardagga in Jharkhand, and the Prime Minister will later address 2 rallies at Bolpur and Ranaghat in West Bengal. Prime Minister Modi addressed rallies at Kendrapada and Balasore in Odisha. The Prime Minister said that not a single charge of corruption has surfaced against the BJP-led government in the last 5 years, and those who have been levelling false allegations have found themselves in the dock. Prime Minister Modi said that the NDA government is utilizing the technology to ensure that the benefits of development reach the poor of the country. While addressing a rally in West Bengal, the Prime Minister took a swipe at Mamata Banerjee.
Tuesday proved to be an unusually busy day for Prime Minister Narendra Modi. After casting his vote as Pradhan Sevak of the country in Ahmedabad, he held several rallies and roadshows reaching out to voters for the remaining phases. Prime Minister addressed 2 rallies in Odisha and 1 in West Bengal. His first rally was in Kendrapada in Odisha. Prime Minister Modi asserted that Congress and opposition parties are spending sleepless nights as the wave for the BJP has become a challenge for them after the first 2 phases of elections. Emphasizing that not a single charge of corruption has surfaced against the BJP-led government in the past 5 years, PM said those who have been levelling false allegations have found themselves in the dock.
सरकारें आपने भी पहले बहुत देखी है, केंद्र में भी और राज्य में भी, लेकिन ये वो सरकार है जिस पर 5 साल में भ्रष्टाचार का एक भी दाग नहीं लगा है.
Prime Minister's next stop in the state was Balasore. He slammed the Congress for failing to demonstrate India's defense capability in space, claiming that the previous governments were only concerned about the interest of a Namdar family, not the country's security. Next, in Asansol, West Bengal, Prime Minister Modi mocked Trinamool Congress Supremo Mamata Banerjee for dreaming of becoming the PM and said she would have bought the post with money looted from chit fund scams had it been up for auction.
मुट्ठी भर सीटें लड़कर हमारी दीदी प्रधानमंत्री बनने का सपना भी देख रही है. अगर ऑप्शन से प्रधानमंत्री का पद मिल जाता तो कांग्रेस और दीदी दोनों ऑप्शन में जो माल लूटा है उसको लेकर के आ जाते.
Later in the evening, PM held a roadshow in Ranchi. The enthusiasm of the crowds was visible as they lined the roads. Prime Minister reciprocated the warmth in equal measure. With Nishan Saurabh, Abhishek Jha, Ajay Mishra and Rajesh Raj, DD India.
The Bharati Janata Party has released 26th list of 3 candidates for the Lok Sabha elections. The party is to field these candidates from Chandigarh and Punjab. Bollywood actor Sunny Deol will contest elections from Gurdaspur, Som Prakash from Hoshiarpur and Kiran Kher from Chandigarh. And campaigning has gained momentum in the Congress's camp too. The Congress President Rahul Gandhi will today visit Uttar Pradesh, where he will address various public rallies during the day. Congress's General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi Vadra will hold public meetings at Khaga and Ghazipur in Fatehpur constituency today. Thereafter, she will hold a road show in Mahoba and an election meeting in Rath under Hamirpur, Lok Sabha. And moving on now, Congress President Rahul Gandhi campaigned in Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan on Tuesday, where he made promises on the farmers' welfare and job creation. The Congress's General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi Vadra on Tuesday inquired about the health of the Congress workers in Raebareli injured in a road accident recently and directed the party workers on the campaign strategies in Amethi.
On Tuesday, as polling was held for the third phase, there was no let-up in campaigning by political parties. Congress chief Rahul Gandhi campaigned in Madhya Pradesh's Shahdol and Jabalpur along with Dungarpur in Rajasthan. In Dungarpur, he said that when billionaires avail loans, they go off scot-free without repayment, while farmers are sent to jail for the same offence. He said that farmers would not have to face such situations if the Congress came to power in 2019.
क्या ये आपको सही लगता है कि हिंदुस्तान के अरबपति जितना भी कर्जा लेना चाहे ले ले बैंक से, वापस ना दें और वो जेल ना जाए, और हिंदुस्तान का किसान आदिवासी 20,000 रुपए ले कर्जा और कर्जा वापस ना दे, एकदम वो जेल जाए? क्या आपको ठीक लगता है? हमने निर्णय लिया है, ऐतिहासिक निर्णय, 2019 के चुनाव के एकदम बाद कानून बदला जाएगा। हिंदुस्तान का कोई भी किसान कर्जा ना लौटाने के लिए जेल में नहीं जा पाएगा।
In Jabalpur again, Rahul promised jobs for the youth if the Congress was voted to power.
27,000 युवा 24 घंटे में हिंदुस्तान में आज रोजगार खोते हर रोज। मैं आपको यहां 2 करोड़ युवाओं का झूठ नहीं बोलूंगा, मगर मैं आपको यह बता दूंगा, 22 लाख सरकारी नौकरियां आज खाली हैं। मैंने पता लगाया है, 22 लाख युवाओं को कांग्रेस पार्टी 1 साल के अंदर रोजगार दिलवा देगी। 22 लाख सरकारी नौकरियां दिलवा देगी। 10 लाख युवाओं को पंचायतों में रोजगार दिया जा सकता है। 10 लाख युवाओं को पंचायतों में कांग्रेस पार्टी रोजगार दिलवा देगी।
Meanwhile, Party General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi visited Raebareli District Hospital, where she took stock of the medical facilities and inquired about the condition of party workers injured in a car accident on Sunday. She then went on to the home of local MLA Devi Dayal Shastri, who passed away last week, and offered her condolences. Thereafter in Amethi, she addressed party workers and directed them on campaign strategies and discussed other issues as well. Amid speculation that she might contest against Prime Minister Narendra Modi from Varanasi, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra said she would abide by the party decision in this regard.
पार्टी ने अभी फैसला नहीं किया, जब फैसला करेंगी तो आपको पता चल जाएगा। बनास लड़ेंगी? आप लड़ रही हैं? मैंने बार-बार कहा है कि जो पार्टी चाहेगी मैं करूंगी।
And in the midst of all the campaigning, the nomination filing process continues. Former Chief Minister Sheila Dikshit filed her nominations from North-East Delhi with much fanfare, while Ajay Makin filed his from the New Delhi Lok Sabha seat. Arvinder Singh Lovely filed his papers as the candidate from East Delhi, while boxing superstar Vijender Singh filed his from the South Delhi seat.
फाइल जैसे किया जाता है वैसे किया है, और जो गाइड किया दिया था, फॉर्म्स भरनी थी वो भर दी और दे दी। अब देखिए क्या, नेचुरली जो हमारा फाइट है वो टफ है, लेकिन करेंगे।
In Sonipat, Bhupinder Singh Hooda filed his nominations, while in Shimla, in Himachal Pradesh, Congress candidate Dhaniram Shandil filed his papers. DD India.
And other opposition parties have also intensified their campaigns. In Bihar, the RJD leader Tejaswi Yadav campaigned for the RJD candidate Abdul Bari Siddiqui. Tejaswi expressed confidence of victory and slammed the Nitish Kumar government.
मतलब क्या काम किए तो बोलते हैं शराबबंदी कर दी, अब बोलते हैं नशा मुक्ति होनी चाहिए, देश भर में होनी चाहिए, जागरूक करना पड़ेगा लोगों को। लेकिन नीतीश जी, आपने तो केवल शराबबंदी लगता है कागजे में बंद किया है, आप बताओ तो शराब चालू है कि बंद है?
In Farrukhabad in Uttar Pradesh, the BSP chief Mayawati campaigned for the alliance's candidate and slammed both the Congress and the BJP.
उत्तर प्रदेश के लोगों को मालूम है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी की हुकूमत के दौरान ही सबसे ज्यादा जो दलित वर्ग के लोग हैं, पिछड़े वर्ग के लोग हैं या अन्य समाज के गरीब लोग हैं, सबसे ज्यादा रोटी रोजी के लिए पलायन कांग्रेस पार्टी की हुकूमत के दौरान में हुआ है। ये भी आप लोगों को मान के चलना चाहिए।
And in the national capital, Delhi, meanwhile, the Aam Aadmi Party fielded candidates from all the seats after a proposed alliance with the Congress fell through. The party leader Sanjay Singh said that the next government would surely be a non-BJP one.
पंजाब में, दिल्ली में समझौता होता तो निश्चित तौर पे भारतीय जनता पार्टी को रोका जा सकता था। विपक्ष की सरकार आएगी, एंटी बीजेपी सरकार देश में आएगी और ये आप 23 मई के बाद देखिएगा।
And news from Supreme Court, which on Tuesday issued notice to Congress President Rahul Gandhi seeking his response on a contempt petition for incorrectly attributing his remarks against Prime Minister Modi to it in the Rafale case, but exempted him from personal appearance. The notice was issued after the top court rejected Rahul Gandhi's plea to close the criminal contempt case filed by the BJP MP Meenakshi Lekhi after his explanation in an affidavit on Monday claiming that the remarks were made in the heat of political campaigning. Rahul Gandhi had also expressed regret over his remarks, but the apex court said that the contempt case will be heard on the 30th of this month. And moving on now, strong tremors of intensity 6.1 on the Richter scale hit Assam, Arunachal Pradesh and the parts of northeast. The epicenter of the shallow quake was about 40 kilometers southeast of Along district in Arunachal Pradesh. And fortunately, there have been no reports of any damage to life and property. The police officials say that the situation is being monitored and assessed. China's official state news agency Xinhua said that the quake was felt in Tibet, which neighbors India. Moving on now, while the country is talking elections and politics, a non-political and completely candid interaction of Bollywood actor Akshay Kumar with Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be aired today. In a reply, both Prime Minister and the actor have shown their excitement through a series of tweets. And while Akshay Kumar has said that he is grateful to know some lesser-known facts about Prime Minister Modi. In a tweet, Prime Minister Modi has said, and I quote, "Dear Akshay Kumar, it was good talking to you about everything except politics and elections. I am sure people would like watching our conversation." Unquote.
आपने मुझे फैशन स्टेटमेंट के लिए पूछा। ये बात सही है कि मैं ढंग से रहना, ये मेरी प्रकृति थी। शायद एक कारण ये भी था कि गरीबी के कारण कभी कभी इन्फीरियरिटी फील होती थी लोगों के बीच में, तो उसको ओवरकम करने के लिए शायद साइकोलॉजी पढ़ी होगी बचपन में, ऐसा मुझे लगता है। तो मैं क्या करता था, अब हमारे घर में वो प्रेस करने के लिए कुछ था नहीं, तो मैं ये बर्तन का जो लोटा रहता है उसमें कोयला भर देता था, गर्म कोयला, और उसी से कपड़ों को प्रेस करता था और पहन के जाता था।
जैसे मैं अपने घर पे अपनी माँ के साथ रहता हूँ, आपका मन करता है सर आपकी माँ, आपके भाई, आपके सारे जितने भी रिश्तेदार हैं आपके साथ घर पे रहें।
मैं एक जिंदगी की बहुत छोटी आयु में सब कुछ छोड़ चुका हूँ, बहुत छोटी आयु में। जैसे मेरी माँ मुझे कहता है, भाई तुम मेरे पीछे क्यों समय खराब करते हो।
आप 3 या 4, 3.5 घंटे ही सोते हैं, मतलब 7 घंटे तो सोना एक अमूमन एक शरीर को चाहिए चाहिए।
राष्ट्रपति ओबामा जब मुझे मिले तो वो भी सबसे पहले मेरे से इस चीज के में उलझ गए। बोले मोदी जी क्यों ऐसा करते हैं। बोले हम दोनों अच्छे दोस्त हैं, और वो जब भी मिलते हैं कि तुम मेरी बात मानते हो कि नहीं मानते हो, कोई नींद बढ़ाई कि नहीं बढ़ाई।
आप सन्यासी बनना चाहते थे या आप सोल्जर या आर्मी में जाना चाहते थे?
कभी फौज वाले यूनिफॉर्म में निकलते थे तो मुझे बड़ा देखता था, कभी बच्चे की तरह खड़े होकर के सैल्यूट कर देता था। इतने में 1962 का वॉर हो गया, तो मन पे हो गया कि हाँ ये देश के लिए जीने मरने वाला रास्ता है। इतने में एक बार मैंने कहीं पढ़ा कि गुजरात में कोई सैनिक स्कूल है, उसमें आप दाखिल हो सकते हैं। पिताजी को कहा कि ऐसा ऐसा है, मैं वहाँ जाना चाहता हूँ। तो कभी अपने पास पैसे कहाँ हैं, तुम कहाँ पढ़ने जाओगे? जामनगर। जामनगर तक कौन ले जाएगा तुझे?
And we'll play out that candid conversation between Prime Minister Modi and actor Akshay Kumar at 9 this morning. Moving on now to our major international story, Sri Lankan President Maithripala Sirisena has assured the nation that he would take steps to curtail the menace of terror and bring back normalcy swiftly, even as tensions remain with possibility of more attacks. President Sirisena said he will make immediate changes in the high security positions as there was negligence in carrying out responsibilities. He said although there was an intelligence report input about these attacks, he was not informed about them. Listen in.
I will completely restructure the police and security forces in the coming weeks. I expect to change the heads of defense establishments within next 24 hours. The security officials who got the intelligence report from a foreign nation did not share it with me. Appropriate actions would have been taken. I have decided to take stern action against these officials.
Meanwhile, the Islamic State on Tuesday claimed responsibility for the devastating Easter blast in Sri Lanka that killed 321 people and identified the 7 suicide bombers who were involved in the attacks. And the Sri Lankan Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe accepted that India had shared specific intelligence about these attacks and there is a strong cooperation between the two nations on the menace of terror.
As Sri Lanka and the world continue to mourn the mindless massacre of over 320 people on Easter Sunday, in Sri Lanka, Islamic State has claimed responsibility for the horrifying terror attack there. In a statement issued through its propaganda Amak news agency, the ISIS claimed that executors of the attack that targeted citizens of coalition states and Christians in Sri Lanka 2 days ago were with the group.
Certainly the security apparatus was of the view that there are foreign links, and some of the evidence points to that. So if when the ISIS claimed it, we will be following up on this claim. There was suspicion that there were links with the ISIS.
Meanwhile, citing the findings from the initial probe, Sri Lanka's State Minister of Defence, Ruwan Wijewardene, in an address to Parliament said that the suicide bombings were in retaliation of the deadly shootings at 2 mosques in Christchurch in New Zealand. A surveillance footage of the suspected bomber has also surfaced, carrying a heavy backpack and walking on the street before heading into the St. Sebastian's Church. International police organization Interpol has deployed a team to Sri Lanka to assist investigations. 40 suspects, including driver of a van allegedly used by the suicide bombers, have been arrested so far. Sri Lanka's President Maithripala Sirisena showed foreign diplomats pictures of the suspected bombers and gave a briefing to diplomats based in Colombo. Silence was also observed to mourn the dead. Sri Lanka has declared a full day of national mourning across the country. National flags were lowered to half-mast and 3 minutes of silence was observed to pay homage to those who died. A state of emergency is also in effect in the country. Sri Lankan President Maithripala Sirisena visited Negombo, where over 100 people were killed in the blast at St. Sebastian's Church. Meanwhile, it has emerged that India had specifically warned about the attacks and intelligence advisory early this month, but Sri Lankan government failed to take adequate steps. 10 Indians are among 38 foreigners who were killed in the attack. DD India.
And let's now get in the latest inputs on the serial blast that took place in Sri Lanka, in which 321 people have lost their lives. Joining us is Prasar Bharati special correspondent Santosh from Colombo. Santosh, good morning. Leads are closely being followed into the attacks, and the Sri Lankan president has admitted lapses by the authorities there. And he's vowed to make changes really at the top positions. What more are you learning about that?
Yes, Nancy, of course it was a major lapse on the part of Sri Lankan government that despite having specific inputs about possible attacks on churches and other public places, it was not given proper heed, and such a big ghastly attack was allowed to happen in such a manner. So President has assured that necessary steps will be taken in this regard, and those who are responsible behind will be punished, and we are expecting some major changes in the security establishment today, including the change of police chief and some other key personnel in the defense establishment. Apart from that, the major focus now is about arresting key suspects and having a crackdown on all those people who because there are certain inputs that there may be further attacks also. Some people may be on the run and they may be trying to use explosives at some places. So there is a major crackdown all over the country. Security has been beefed up and all the sensitive places are guarded, and many suspects, even last night 18 more people have been arrested from different places, and some modules are being busted. This particular group, this National Tawhid Jamaat is being targeted, and the groups to this fundamentalism are kept on check so that further attacks can be prevented and further loss of in the country.
Absolutely. Right. Yes, Santosh, you're telling us about how security apparatus continues to be tight in perhaps in the wake of more inputs coming in about the imminent attacks that could have taken place in Sri Lanka there, and Interpol is also assisting the probe, the Sri Lankan authorities in the probe, and 40 suspects we're given to understand have been taken into custody. What more do we know about the interrogation that had been launched to nab those behind this deadly carnage? How's that really coming along?
Yes, Nancy, 40 people were arrested till yesterday, and as I said, would have been arrested overnight on those who are suspects and those who are linked to this fundamentalist group, National Tawhid Jamaat. And as the investigations are going on, the government has maintained that there are certain linked foreign agencies, and the Prime Minister said that also arrested are all local Sri Lankans, but which travel to countries abroad for certain testing or certain meetings. Government is convinced that there are foreign to this thing, and they are also seeking the cooperation of international agencies from India with support to, to join these links with foreign agencies and able to carry such a big attack. At the same time, of course, as we talked earlier, there was a major lapse on the part of the government because such a big fundamentalist group which was coming up in the past few years was not properly taken care of, was not properly put under surveillance, and this kind of big attack was allowed to happen. So of course, there is a true
Santosh.
Investigation on the past was allowed to happen and how to prevent anything like future.
Okay, Santosh, a quick ask also, you're sharing with us that modules have been busted and 43 suspects have been taken into custody. We know that Islamic State has claimed responsibility for this deadly carnage. Has any link been established, of these 43 suspects with the Islamic State? Any investigations leading into that direction? Has any sort of information come to the fore in the investigations?
Yes, in fact, there were always suspicions of links with ISIS, as Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe also accepted in his press conference that they had suspicions that these local groups were linked to this ISIS for this attack. So that investigation is going on, and ISIS also claimed responsibility.
Yes.
And also some strategic experts and defense experts are saying that the kind of attacks which were carried out on those occasions, the explosive and the apparatus was used pointed fingers to the ISIS. So that is one part of the story. Secondly, as it was also pointed out that some of those suspects who were under arrest traveled abroad for some certain and training. So that also That is also
Okay.
pointed towards involvement of some foreign agencies.
Sure.
At the same time, we
Okay. All right. All right, Santosh, thanks very much for joining us and sharing all those inputs. We'll closely keep a track of the developments that take place there in Sri Lanka in the aftermath of the deadly blast that has claimed over 300 lives. Moving on now to more news from around the world, the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un is headed to Russia for his summit with the Russian President Vladimir Putin. Kim and Putin are set to meet for the first time in the eastern port city of Vladivostok, but do not plan to sign any agreements or even make a joint statement. The North Korean leader left the capital Pyongyang this morning at dawn and is traveling to Russia by train as he did for his summit with the US President Donald Trump in Hanoi, Vietnam. Kim's visit to North Korea's northern neighbor comes amid an impasse in the nuclear negotiations between Pyongyang and Washington. And with that, we are moving on now to all the news from the world of finance, and my colleague Anchal is joining us for the moment.
Well, thank you very much, Nancy. And let's have a look at the top stories first. Around 3 crore small farmers have so far received the first tranche of rupees 2,000 each under the Pradhan Mantri Kisan scheme, and 2 crore peasants have got the second installment as well. Centre announced that rupees 75,000 crore Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi scheme, under which rupees 6,000 per year would be paid to 12 crore farmers in 3 equal installments. Total of rupees 10,500 crore has been disbursed so far, comprising the first and Punjab and Haryana are amongst the top beneficiary states, as the 2 states have completed the registration of its farmers under the scheme. And moving on to other news, ED has summoned former MD and CEO of ICICI Bank Chanda Kochhar on May 3rd in connection with the Videocon money laundering case. The probe agency has asked Chanda Kochhar to make a personal appearance before it in Delhi with a detailed list of movable and immovable assets owned by her. ED's investigating officer in the case will record their statements under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. The ED has asked Chanda to make full disclosure to the probe agency in line with one she made to RBI, SEBI and other regulators. This development comes in the wake of the evidence collected by ED, which implies that former ICICI Bank MD and CEO was the sole beneficiary of the loans sanctioned to certain individuals and firms. And talking about the Sensex update, Indian indices fell for the 3rd trading consecutive session in a row to register their lowest figures since March 28, dragged down by losses in auto stocks. Sensex closed at 38,564, down by 80 points, and Nifty failed to hold 11,000 benchmark and closed at 11,578, down by 15 points. BSE mid cap and small cap ended by 18%. The market breadth indicating the overall strength of the market was weak among sectors. Energy, FMCG, pharma witnessed some buying, while auto, banking, metal and infra ended in red. And that's all we have in this edition of Finance World. Back to Nancy for more updates.
Thanks, Anchal, for joining us. Let's now move on to sports news. Shiva Thapa and veteran El Sarita Devi have entered the semi-finals of the Asian Boxing Championships in Bangkok on Tuesday. And in all, 8 Indian boxers, that's 4 women and 4 men, have advanced to the medal rounds on day 2 of the quarterfinals. The 25-year-old Thapa defeated Thailand's Rujakaran Juntrok in a one-sided lightweight contest 5-0. In the women's draw, former world champion Sarita defeated Kazakhstan's Rima Volosenko in a split decision to advance. An Asian Games gold medalist and world number 1 Bajrang Punia showed his medal to come back from a 2-7 deficit against Asian Games bronze medalist Syed Bek Okasov and take the gold medal as India opened the campaign with 3 medals on the first day of the 2019 Asian Wrestling Championships in China. The Kazakh grappler made a fiery start to put Bajrang under pressure, but the Indian was able to turn it around late in the second round to clinch a thrilling 12-7 win. And with that, let's now move on to our next segment, the morning print, to get you a glimpse of what the national dailies are carrying this morning. We are beginning first with the news from Economic Times. Voter turnout in phase 3 close to 2014 numbers. And yes, the third round of voting, which is the largest in the 7-phase general elections, is also critical to the electoral fortunes of the ruling BJP, which had 162 of these seats in 2014. Congress President Rahul Gandhi and the BJP President Amit Shah faced the ballot test at Vaina and Gandhinagar seats respectively, whereas the closely watched Mahagathbandhan between Samajwadi Party and the Bahujan Samaj Party was tested at Mainpuri, where SP Patriarch Mulayam Singh Yadav contested polls after Mayawati joined him at a public rally. And let's now move on to some other news from the Indian Express. Supreme Court clears 3-judge panel to probe sexual harassment complaint against the CJI, and Justices S.A. Bobde, N.V. Raman and Indira Banerjee will be on the committee that was approved by a full court on the administrative side. And in fact, this inquiry will be in the nature of a departmental inquiry and not a judicial inquiry. It will start on Friday afternoon. And in fact, Justice Bobde has told this newspaper that the CJI wanted an inquiry and I was asked to do it, unquote. And let's now move on to some other news. In fact, from the Times of India, Supreme Court has asked Gujarat government to pay 50 lakh rupees relief to rape survivor Bilkis. The Supreme Court has ordered the Gujarat government to provide 50 lakh rupees, a job and a house to Bilkis Yaqub Rasul Bilkis Bano as compensation for the ordeal that she suffered as a 21-year-old in the 2002 riots when a mob gang raped her and killed her 3.5-year-old daughter. In fact, she's pleaded that she has been stripped of every vestige of dignity, has no means to support herself and leads a nomadic life with small assistance offered by 2 NGOs. A compensation of 1 crore rupees would be just and proper. For that, it's a wrap on the morning print for now. Let's now move on to our Good News India story. And in fact, well, there's an old saying that one cannot think well, love well, sleep well if one has not dined well. Now, understanding the need for wholesome, nutritious food, a group of women in Mumbai who go by the name of Masala Mamas are ensuring that they do their bit for those hungry, needy children who have no one to take care of them. Here's a report by Tabassum Malik, our Mumbai correspondent, that tells you all. Take a look.
Meet the Masala Mamas of Mumbai, whose benevolence and motherliness is not just limited to the 4 walls of their homes. It goes out in service of hungry, needy children whom they feed.
जिस तरह माँ अपने बच्चों को खाना बना के देती है, उसी तरह हम सिर्फ खाना नहीं बनाते, हम अपना प्यार मिला के देते हैं, दिल से इन बच्चों के लिए खाना बनाते हैं।
A typical day in the life of these wonderful women begins at 7:30 in the morning. It ends at 10, by which the food, as needed, is sent out to schools everywhere. The food is prepared keeping in mind recognized nutritional standards. In the process, they are not just serving their community or fulfilling their duty to humanity. They are contributing to nation building and a bright future for the next generation.
कई बच्चों के माता पिता सुबह सुबह काम पर चले जाते हैं और ये बच्चे भूखे पेट स्कूल आ जाते हैं, इसलिए हम इनको रोज अच्छा खाना बना के देते हैं और ये करते वक्त हमें बहुत खुशी होती है।
हम बच्चों को 2 टाइम खाना बना के देते हैं, उसके बाद बाहर के ऑर्डर्स लेते हैं। ये काम करने से हमको सुकून मिलता है, हम अपना घर अच्छे से चला पाते हैं और हम दूसरी महिलाओं को भी ट्रेनिंग देते हैं।
छोटे छोटे लागू उद्योग चालू करके वहाँ पर 3, 4, 5, 6 महिला को रोजगार मिलता है, उनका परिवार में एक एक्स्ट्रा इनकम भी आ जाता है। तो इस कॉम्बिनेशन से जो संस्था का 3 ट्रैक बनता है, एक है एजुकेशन, सेकंड है हेल्थ केयर एंड थर्ड माइक्रो एंटरप्राइजेस फॉर कम्युनिटी डेवलपमेंट।
Good food is essential at any age for the mind as well as the body. What better way to serve and give then than how these courageous, hard-working and benevolent women are doing. Tabassum Malik in Mumbai for Good News India.
And a look now at the weather conditions across the country. And with that, it's a wrap on the Breakfast News this morning. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. But before we leave today, we are leaving you with the glimpses of the Karnataka's Fire Festival. Take a look at those visuals and we wish you a great day ahead. Thanks for being with us.